Hello everyone, this is Jim Lawyer here for V-Cycling News. We're live covering tonight's NorCal Tuesday Niter, the Redlands Stage 1, Crafton Hills. It's an 14 mile course, approximately 1,300 feet of climb, and it's new for the NorCal Tuesday Niter. It's a stage race with a weekly stages. The Redlands Classic. It's the longest running elite stage race left in the U.S. The Redlands features hilly stages in Southern California around Redlands east of Los Angeles. At the end of 5 weeks we will post a standings, and no need to race every one. So this will be stage 1 tonight, and we've got a lot of great racers joining us tonight, so it should be a great time. Again, you're watching live coverage on V-Cycling News. Thank you. Got all of the racers lined up here at the start. Got Dan Connolly, the one that sets all this NorCal stuff up. We appreciate him. I see Shane out there, D. Bodke. And I'm sure others will join here shortly. Should be a great race night. The course is flat and then a downhill to the middle. It's an out and back course basically. So when we hit the middle, they're going to do a turnaround and come back. So what they ride down, they're going to ride back up. 2 minutes to go before the race starts. Little over a minute to the start of the race night. Racing the NorCal Tuesday Niter, Redlands Stage 1, Crafton Hills. 14 miles, out and back, about 1,300 feet total climb. Lots of great racers out here tonight. Shane, D. Connolly, D. Bodke, Brian Kellison, April Regal, and a lot of bots out here tonight. So we will try to go around them and give you accurate reporting on the positions of our real-life riders. 30 seconds. $20 seconds to the start of the NorCal Tuesday Niter Redlands Stage 1 race. And they're off. Got D. Bodke, Tristan Witt, M. Saccone, Peanut, all jumping out to the front. M. Saccone's out front right now doing a great job. D. Bodke in a close second. Tristan Witt third, Peanut fourth, B. Kellison fifth, J. Giannone in sixth. B. Richwine in 7th, M. Wall in 8th right now, Shane in 9th, J. Bourbet in 10th. All racing very hard, doing a great job. Looks like Peanut is jumping out front right now. M. Saccone says, nope, going to take it back. Fast pace rates to start, 26 miles an hour, 27, 4% grade downhill right now. Gonna be flying 40 miles an hour. Great racing up front. First four people are within 3 yards of each other, battling for that lead position. All in the red zone right now on a slight climb, 1%. Pushing hard, 200 plus watts. M. Saccone in first right now. Peanut taking that. Tristan Witt jumping up front. Got some great racing going on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redlands Stage 1 race. Got a big group up front. D. Bodke, second place. B. Callison out in first. M. Saccone now taking that spot. D. Bodke drops the second. Oh, we got a little flyer by somebody. Who is it? Peanut jumping out front. Everybody's fighting for that first position. Peanut doing a little flyer. Got about 10-yard lead on second through seventh right now. Doing a great job. We got 7 people in that front group. All battling it out. In a nice downhill section, 5% downhill, 35 miles an hour. Everybody putting out the wattage, keeping it going. Jockeying for that first position. As you can see on the bottom on the elevation profile, downhill to the middle, and then they do a turnaround and head back. And then they've got this, where they're riding now, the downhill, they'll be climbing back up towards the finish. A little over a mile and a half in, 12 to go. Got some great racing going on, and you see, looks like Peanut is there taking advantage of the draft and coasting down this hill and staying with the pack because of the draft. Great, great job. Smart racing by Peanut. Carrying that speed down the hill. Got M. Saccone back out front. Got some people attacking. B. Richwine. D. Bodke. M. Saccone jumping back out front, doing a great job. All of our racers tonight are excellent, excellent racing. Thanks to all of them for joining us. Jay Burvey jumping out front right now. D. Bodke on his wheel. M. Saccone jumping out front. Lots of jockeying. There's B. Callison in his normal red, white, and blue American flag jersey. Great racing. Almost 3 miles complete, 28 mile an hour right now on this section of the course. Still in a slight downhill, 2%. Peanut has got about a 20-yard lead over second right now. And then second through seventh are all about 14, 15 yards back from Peanut right now. All working together to reel him back in. And there they come. Gotta see who's got the climbing legs tonight on this finish, because we will have a long, steady climb to the finish tonight on this course. And it will look familiar to our riders because this is where they're at now, going out and then going to do a turnaround and come back at it to the finish. Great racing night, live coverage on B Cycling News. And we're racing on the RGT cycling platform, a great platform for virtual cycling. Great bike dynamics, easy for me to say. And physics, probably the most realistic one that I've ridden so far. Excellent platform, and you can join in on these NorCal Tuesday Nighters for free. Just head over to rgtcycling.com, download the app on your preferred device, whether it be Windows, Mac, Android, iPhone, and sign up for free, and then head over to the events tab and search for NorCal. And there we are, halfway, turning around. A little less than halfway. That was the turnaround. So 4 miles in. Great racing still going on. Gonna start our long, steady climb to the finish line. B. Rich Wine out front. M. Saccone second. Tristan Witt third. Well, fourth now B. Kellison in third. All jockeying for position. Lots of great racing going on here tonight. Let's get back to our second big group and see who's back there. Right now, about 150 yards back. This group is led by D. Connolly. Then we've got M. Waugh in 10th. R. Guerrero in 11th. C. Quinar, I'm probably messing that up, but hopefully not. In 11th, right there with R. Guerrero. J. Giannone in 13th. J. Valley in 14th. Then we've got Bots back here. April Regal back there in 15th, doing a great job. Back up front with B. Rich Wine. And he's got about a 20-yard lead over second, which is Jay Burbet right now. So right now up front we've got B. Rich Wine, Jay Burbet, B. Kellison, Peanut, Tristan Witt, D. Bodke, M. Saccone. Then Shane, D. Connolly, M. Waugh, and C. Quinar, maybe? You'll have to send me a message and give me some pronunciation on that, please. B. Rich Wine holding first place. B. Kellison in second right now, about 20 yards back. Then we jump up 40 yards back to Jay Burbet. Almost to a 10th mile back, Peanut and D. Bodke, Tristan Witt, and then D. Connolly, M. Saccone, Shane, M. Waugh. All doing great racing tonight on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redland Stage 1 race. Little over 5 miles complete. Little under 9 miles to go. On that steady climb to the finish. Running about 300 watts up front with B. Richwine and B. Kellison. B. Kellison right on B. Richwine's wheel. Taking a look, maybe going to make a pass here. Coming up side, and B. Kellison in first place right now. B. Richwine going to grab the wheel and take the draft, maybe? Nope. Pulling back out front. Looks like our front two are going to ride side by side. Neither one wants to give the other some advantage with the draft, it looks like. As I say that, B. Richwine pulls up on B. Kellison's wheel in a nice draft, saving about 40 watts right now. Yeah, definitely. B. Kellison jumping out, putting out 400 watts, pulling away a little bit. Getting to a 5% grade right now, uphill. Going to start seeing lots of wattage come up. So it looks like the first two have pulled a huge lead over third right now, about 100 yards. And then we slowly fall back about a tenth of a mile, and then 2/10, and then back to a half mile between all of our riders up front. The first 11 spots are all within a half mile though. B. Kellison doing a great job on this climb, staying very steady at 400 watts. Nice cadence, heart rate coming up in the zone 1 area, pushing out about 160 beats a minute. Another view of our front two leaders. B. Kellison in first, B. Richwine in second. Almost a 6% climb right now. Have slowed the pace down to about 13 miles an hour due to the climbing. Doing a great job putting out the wattage though. Let's go ahead and go down through our standings right now. We've got B. Kellison in first, B. Richwine in second, J. Burbet in third, P. Nutt in fourth, D. Bodke, D. Connolly in fifth now, D. Bodke in sixth, Tristan Witt in seventh, Shane in eighth, M. Waugh in ninth, M. Saccone in 10th, C. Quinar in 11th, R. Guerrero in 12th, J. Giannone in 13th. Get past these bots. J. Valley in 14th. More bots. April Regal in 15th. Looks like she's the only woman again in tonight's field. Doing a great job. Back up front with our leaders. And I apologize tonight, we don't have any of the live cams. I had some network equipment go down and fail earlier today, and haven't had a chance to get it replaced and resolved. We'll be back full boat next Tuesday night with some more live coverage of the exciting race series, NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redlands Stage Race. And all brought to you live on V Cycling News. Almost 6.5 miles in. Seven to go. And I kind of apologize. It looks like we make 2 laps of this course. So we will be doing the downhill and the uphill section again before the finish. Great racing though. Live coverage on V Cycling News. Looking at our front runners, B. Kellison and B. Richwine. Doing a great job up front. Putting out the wattage right now. 350, 400 watts. Excellent effort. Heart rate's up there in the 160s. High zone 1. Showing they're really working it. Pushing hard. Run down through our board right now. We've got B. Kellison up in first, B. Richwine in second, J. Burbet in third, P. Nutt in fourth, D. Connolly in fifth, D. Bodke in sixth, Tristan Witt in seventh, Shane in eighth, M. Waugh in ninth, M. Saccone in 10th, C. Quinar in 11th. Great racing tonight. And again, you're watching live coverage of the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redland Stage 1, Crafton Hills, live on V Cycling News. Looks like everybody's settled down into a good position right now. And B. Richwine jumping out front now, taking the lead. B. Kellison going to sit on his wheel maybe. And there's B. Kellison coming up. Again, side by side, back into the lead. And back to the downhill area. Picking up the pace, picking up the speed. B. Richwine in first, B. Kellison in second, J. Burbet in third, D. Connolly in fourth. Great racing, great efforts by all of our riders tonight. Pushing hard in this NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redland Stage 1 race. B. Kellison about 20 yards off the leader's wheel. Pulling back in, slowly but surely. Going to catch the wheel of our first place rider, B. Richwine, and take advantage of that draft maybe for a bit. A little under 7.5 miles in for these leaders. 6.5 to go. Both of them taking advantage of this nice downhill section. Doing a little aerodynamic coasting there. Great riding so far by all of our racers. Field definitely kind of spread out when we got to that climb area of this first lap. Before that it was tight. First 7 positions, all within about 5 yards of each other. We're heading back down the first part of the course that we rode on the first lap. All downhill, and then we do an uphill, and then we'll be heading to the finish. 8 miles complete, 6 to go for these front runners. B. Richwine in first, B. Kellison in second. Right on B. Richwine's wheel. Let's see how much he's saving by being in the draft. Looks like about 60 watts riding on his wheel. As he moves closer, he will gain more savings in wattage. And you can kind of see that up in the status display right now. He's pulling in, he's saving about 150 watts, which is amazing. B. Kellison pulling out front. B. Richwine responding and not letting him do it. B. Kellison taking advantage of the downhill and drafting and coasting a little bit, saving a little energy for the finish. Look at him jumping there. This is what I mean about RGT cycling. Great bicycle physics and dynamics. You don't see this in other platforms where the drafting is so realistic, where you see B. Kellison is not putting out any wattage and zero cadence and hanging right on the leader's wheel. Fantastic physics here on this virtual cycling platform. And look at B. Kellison's heart rate coming down. What a fit individual. Perfect draft. Hanging about maybe 6 inches off B. Richwine's wheel. And look, saving 300 plus watts. Amazing strategy here by B. Kellison. Saving lots of energy for that climb to the finish. Let's see if it pays off for B. Kellison. See what strategy B. Richwine might have as we start up the hill here shortly. But you can see B. Kellison still in the coast mode and hanging right on B. Richwine's wheel. Amazing. And this is the way it would be in real life too, folks. You get in and suck somebody's wheel and you save a lot of energy. And if he pulled out beside of him, it's like hitting a brick wall with the wind. And he'd have to start pedaling and putting out 300 plus watts to stay and maintain. Awesome, awesome. We'll take a side view of this to show what it looks like on the side. And you see B. Kellison now starting to pedal a little bit as the downhill is kind of subsiding and still saving a lot of wattage being in that draft, but not enough to maintain as we are now on an uphill. Watching our first place leader, B. Richwine. Second place, B. Kellison. Third place, J. Burbet. Fourth place, Peanut. Fifth, D. Connolly. Sixth, Tristan Witt and D. Bodke right there, 6th and 7th. Shane in 8th. M. Waugh in 9th. M. Saccone 10th. C. Quinar in 11th. J. Valley in 12th. R. Guerrero in 13th. J. Giannone in 14th. Get past all these bots and we'll check out and see how April's doing back here. In 15th, doing a great job. She's on that, still on that uphill section, pushing hard, doing a great job. Back up front with B. Kellison, now in the lead. B. Richwine in the draft. Jumping out front again. Got a little rest and flex the leg muscles. There's B. Kellison jumping back out front. Again, you're watching live coverage of the NorCal Tuesday Niter, the Redlands Series Stage 1 Crafton Hills race. Almost 11 miles complete for these front runners. 3 to go. Getting ready to start heading up the incline, the hill to the finish. Long, gradual, drawn out climb. Getting steeper as we get closer to the finish. Doing our turnaround again. And heading back home. Again, we'll go down our leaderboard. B. Richwine first, B. Kellison second, J. Burbay third, Peanut in fourth, D. Connolly in fifth, D. Bodke in sixth, Tristan Witt in seventh, Shane in eighth, M. Waugh in ninth, M. Sicko in 10th. Great racing by all of our racers. Got a great field out here tonight for this NorCal Tuesday Nighter. About a 3% climb now. B. Richwine back out front. B. Kellison in a close second. About 15 yards, 20 yards back right now from our first place rider. I'm watching live coverage of the NorCal Tuesday Nighter live on V Cycling News. Watching our first place rider in tonight's race right now, B. Richwine. B. Kellison in a second right now, about 80 yards back. 2% climb. Going to get steeper as we get closer to the finish. Let's go ahead and run back through our people. Again, B. Richwine in first. B. Kellison in second. J. Burbay in third. Peanut in fourth. D. Bodke in fifth. D. Connolly in sixth. Tristan Witt in seventh. Riding as a group right there, helping each other out, maybe trying to reel in. Fourth place. Shane in 8th, M. Waugh in 9th, M. Sicko in 10th, C. Quinar in 11th, J. Valley and Arguero 12th and 13th, riding together, working together great. J. Giannone in 14th. And back to April in 15th. Only female out there in tonight's race. Back up front with B. Richwine. Now a 10th mile over B. Kellison. Climbing hard out of here. 350 plus watts. Pushing hard. Definitely brought his climbing legs tonight. Pushing hard. Maintaining that wattage, and you can see on the graph below his numbers up there in the left hand corner of the screen, pretty flat on his wattage, all right around 300, 350. So excellent racing tonight by B. Richwine. Wonderful cadence being that high up in the wattage, and decent heart rate, low to mid zone 159 right now. Great athletes, all of these racers, definitely in shape. Take a look. B. Kellison second. A little over a 10th mile back now. About a 3% climb. Putting out the wattage, 400 plus watts. Nice cadence. Heart rate coming up on this climb. Back up front would be Richwine. And again, our group is kind of spread out due to the climbing sections of this course. Second time we've climbed this area tonight. This is the second out and back. A little over a mile and a third to the finish line for B. Richwine. 10th of a mile over second, B. Kellison. Half mile back to J. Burbay. Then a little over a mile back to Peanut, D. Connolly, and Tristan Witt, D. Bodke. and Shane all back there working hard. B. Richwine doing a great job tonight. Has stayed up front since the start. First half of the race, first quarter of the race, we had a nice group of about 7 riders, all within about 10 yards of each other. And that first climb area kind of broke us apart. A mile to go for B. Richwine. Still about a 10th mile over B. Kellison. 9/10 climbing left for B. Richwine, doing a great job putting out the wattage, still staying very consistent in the mid 3 to high 300 watts. Great cadence, 100 on the cadence, heart rate staying right around 160-ish. Doing a great job tonight. Impressive ride. Let's go back and take a look at B. Kellison. Also doing a great job. Putting out 400 plus watts and staying very steady. Again, 77 on the cadence. Nice heart rate coming up on this climb. Great racing by all these athletes. Very impressive rides tonight by every one of them. Climbing to the finish is never fun. But it seems like no matter where we are, we always are doing that. Climbing to the end. A little over a half mile to go for B. Richwine, U.S. rider. Keeping it going. Half mile to go. B. Kellison has got about 6/10 to go, about a 10th mile back from the leader. And then third is about a half a mile back from second place right now. Climbing to the top here, and then flat to the finish. 4/10. Very impressive ride by all of our racers tonight. Racing here on RGTcycling.com on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redland Series, Stage 1, Crafton Hills. Live coverage on B Cycling News. 3/10 to go for our leader, B. Richwine. And then 4/10 for our second place, B. Kellison, doing a great job tonight. 2/10 to go. One-tenth to the finish will be Richwine. Pushing hard to the finish, keeping that wattage up there. Gained a little bit, up in the 400 watts. Pushing hard to the finish. Awesome. Great job, and the winner is B. Richwine in tonight's race. Congratulations. Let's take a look at our second place rider. 2/10 out, B. Kellison. Great job by our winner tonight, B. Richwine. B. Kellison, a little under a 10th of a mile to go to the finish. Keep it going. Awesome. Pushing hard to the finish. 600 plus watts. Great job, B. Kellison. Our second place rider tonight. Back to our third place rider, Jay Burbet. Pushing hard to the finish. About a half a mile to go for Jay Burbet. And again, we want to congratulate first place, B. Richwine. Second place, B. Kellison so far. On tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter, Redland Stage 1, Crafton Hills. 4/10 to go for our third place rider. Great racing tonight on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter. 3/10 left for Jay Burbet. He keeps us up. We'll be on the podium in third place and joining B. Richwine that came in first and B. Kellison who came in second. And again, Jay Burbet has picked up the wattage a little bit here towards the end. Upwards of 300 watts. 2/10 to go. Pushing hard to the finish. Not giving up. Going to take that third spot. Jay Burbet in 2/10 of a mile. Almost to the top of the hill, then it's going to flatten out for him towards the finish. 2/10, 1/10 left. $300 plus watts still. Heart rate up there in the 160s. Great job. Congratulations to our third place rider, Jay Burbet, coming across the finish line in 40 yards. Congratulations. Back to fourth place right now, D. Connolly. Again, let's take a look at our podium. First place, B. Richwine. Second place, B. Kellison. Third, Jay Burbet. And tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter, Redland Stage 1, Crafton Hills. Back to our fourth place rider, D. Connolly, the mastermind of this series. 4/10 to go. We really appreciate everything he does for this series. And at the beginning you saw the, I think, I may not have played it tonight because I was in a hurry, but he always gives us the relive of the actual course, the flyover. We really appreciate that. 4/10 to go for D. Connolly. And one of the ones we normally have on the live rider cams consistently. We really appreciate that. That'll be back next week. And if you want to join the live rider cams, shoot me a message on Facebook and we'll send you the info to be able to do that and show you in real life on your trainer in your pain cave racing the NorCal series. Two-tenths left to go for Dan. Awesome race tonight. Awesome ride. Two-tenths left. Still on a 6% climb. Awesome effort. Pushing hard. 1/10 left for Dan. Slowly flattening out to the finish. Right at about a 1%, 2% climb right now. 4%. Last little bitty hill. 90 yards left to go for Dan. And he will be our 4th place tonight in the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redlands Stage 1 Crafton Hills race. Congratulations, Dan, on a great 4th place finish. Back to Peanut, who is in 5th. And we see back there Tristan Witt in a close 6th, about 70 yards back. In the red zone right now, maybe trying to close that gap down. Only has a 1/10 of a mile to do it, though. Peanut picking the pace up a little bit. Looks like Peanut's going to come across the line in 5th place tonight. Great effort, pushing hard to the finish. 450 plus watts right to the end. Congratulations, Peanut. 5th place tonight. Got Tristan Witt close. Coming across to end 6th. Great job. Back to D. Bodke in 7th. Again, close, 100 yards out. Congratulations, D. Bodke, doing a great job tonight. Going to come across in 7th place in tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter. Congratulations, D. Bodke. Back to M. Waugh in 8th right now, about a 1/10 to go. Those hill spreader riders out a bit. Still close. Nice finishing. Mainly all together here. Within a good close distance. Congratulations, M. Waugh. Going to come across in 8th position. 30 yards. Eighth place goes to M. Waugh. Back to Shane in 9th. 1/10 of a mile to go. Pushing hard, doing a great race tonight, Shane. U.S. rider. Had a good mix tonight of countries showing up. M. Saccone going to come across in 10th place. Great race tonight. Shane coming across in 9th in 15 yards. Congratulations, Shane. M. Saccone in 10th, about 100 yards out. M. Saccone going to come across in 10th position. Great racing, pushing hard, 300 plus watts to the finish. Congratulations. Back to C. Quinar. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. I apologize. 4/10 to go. Going to come across in 11th position. And we've got J Valley about a 1/10 of a mile back in 12th. Going to come across after C. Quinar. Great racing. 3/10 to go. Going to come across in a 11th position in tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redlands Stage 1 Crafton Hills race. Part of a new thing on NorCal Tuesday Nighter, the Redlands Stage races. 3/10 to go. And live coverage here every Tuesday night on V Cycling News, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time right now. You can join us live every week. Head out to the social media pages for V-Cycling News. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell and follow to get updates on the NorCal events as well as many, many others we cover live, both here in the States and overseas. All on the RGT Cycling platform. 2/10 to go for our 11th position Sequine R. Almost to that second little steep little climb to the finish before it flattens out right at the finish. Impressive effort by all of our riders and racers tonight. About 100 yards left, and we'll watch our 11th position Sequine R come across the finish line in tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter. Redland Stage 1, Crafton Hills, live on V-Cycling News. Congratulations, Sequine R, 11th position. Great job. Back to 12th, J Valley, pushing hard across. Going to come across in 12th place here in 30 yards. Congratulations, J Valley. 12th place in tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter. Back to 13th position, J Giannone. 7/10 out. Again, want to congratulate all of our racers tonight for coming out and joining us on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Series, the Redland Stage Races. You're watching Stage 1 live on V-Cycling News. A little over a half mile left for J Giannone. Going to come across in 13th position. Pushing hard to the finish. Still a little over a half mile left for J Giannone. On the climb right now towards the finish. Half mile to go. You're watching our 13th place rider, Jay Giannone, 3/10 out from the finish on tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter. Redland Series Stage 1 Crafton Hills race. It's a 14-mile course. A little over 1,300 feet of climb. 2 laps of this out and back downhill uphill course. 2/10 left for our 13th place finisher, Jay Giannone. Doing a great race tonight, as well as all of our other racers did. Appreciate all of them coming out and joining in on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Series. We'll be back here next Tuesday night with Stage 2 at 9:05 Eastern Daylight Time for another great race live coverage on V-Cycling News. Be sure to join us. 1/10 to go for our 13th position, Jay Giannone. Staying relatively steady towards the finish, doing a great job. $100 to go for Jay Giannone in that little steep section right before the finish line. 8%, almost 9% climb. And on the TT bike he's on, pretty tough. 60 yards to go. Congratulations, Jay Giannone. 13th place in tonight's NorCal Tuesday Nighter. Let's jump back to the only woman in the field tonight, April Regal, doing a great job. A little over a mile to go for April, pushing hard on that climb towards the finish line. Watching April Regal, going to be our 14th place finisher tonight. And it's a little confusing because it shows her in 26th position on the little flag above her head right now. But that's because of all the pacer bots we have in the race. But she's actually going to come across in 14th position. First place woman. 1 mile to go for April, doing a great job tonight. In that climb section of the finish. Second time around on this climbing area. Doing a great job. Pushing hard. Little under a mile to go for April. 13 miles done. Unfortunately, the last little bit is the tough part, the climb out to the finish. This is a great race course tonight. It's 14 miles of out and back, 2 laps. A nice downhill, then back up after a turnaround 2 times. Nine tenths to go for April. April's in that 5% climb area right now. 8 tenths to go for April. pushing hard. We want to thank everybody for watching live out here on V-Cycling News. And we want to also thank you if you're watching the replay. And be sure out there on social media to like, subscribe, follow, ring that bell, show your appreciation, and get all the updates on all the coverage that we provide on RGT cycling races and events. 7/10 to go for April. Going to come across in 14th position overall. First place woman. April's working hard climbing this hill. Heart rate way up there in the 150s. Pushing hard. 7% climb right now. But definitely going to finish. Pushing hard to the end. Up in the red zone again. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Trying to finish this climb to the finish. Going to flatten out a little bit here shortly for her. Not quite as steep for a little bit. .6% climb right now. And again, you're watching the finish of the NorCal Tuesday Nighter Redland Stage 1 Crafton Hills race. First in a multi-stage race here on RGT Cycling and V-Cycling News. We will cover live every Tuesday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Watch all the exciting racing. April's almost there. Half a mile to go. Doing a great job tonight. Only woman in tonight's field. Going to come across in 14th place overall, first place woman. She's challenging all the other women riders out there to come join the NorCal Tuesday Night Series on RGT Cycling. Come out and join April. Race all these guys. Come on. The more racers, the better. 4/10 to go for April. 13 6/10 in. 4/10 to go. 5% climb right now. She's pushing hard. And again, we want to thank all the racers out here tonight for joining the NorCal Tuesday Nighter. Had some new faces that I hadn't seen before, which is awesome. We always want new riders out here. Head over to rgtcycling.com, download the app, sign up for free, search for NorCal in the events tab, and join up and race with these fellow racers. This is going to be a great stage race series, the Redlands on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter. And again, this is stage 1. It's a 14-mile course, about 1,300 feet overall climb. 2 laps of this out and back course. Very great racing tonight. Had a great group up front of 7 riders. So about a quarter of the way in, we started back up to the other side of the first lap, and then we kind of broke apart. But we all finished relatively decent at the end with a good distance of each other. So that just shows you what kind of racers these are. Great racing on tonight's live coverage on V-Cycling News of the NorCal Tuesday Nighter series. 2/10 to go for April. Pushing hard to the finish. Awesome riding. And again, we appreciate all you live viewers as well as you replay viewers on V-Cycling News. One-tenth to go for April. Kind of in this flatter area, not really flat. Going to come up to this little steep section right before the finish. 100 yards to go for April. Going to come across in 14th position. First place woman. Congratulations, April, at 90 yards. $50 yards for April. Oh, picking it up, pushing hard to the finish line. Sees that finish, going hard towards it. Congratulations, April, on a great race tonight. Again, here's our podium for tonight's Stage 1 Redlands Stage Race Series, Crafton Hills on the NorCal Tuesday Nighter. First position was B. Richwine. Second was B. Kellison. Third, Jay Brubay. Congratulations to all of our racers tonight. Great riding, great finishing by all that started. We didn't have anybody drop out. Congratulations to everybody. And again, thanks for watching live coverage on V-Cycling News. We'll see you next week.